Florida neighborhood watch volunteer who says he shot Trayvon Martin in self-defense is in custody and will be charged. You can hear the specifics here in a press conference by the special prosecutor in the case. Let's take a listen.
That has brought us to this moment. The team here with me has worked tirelessly looking for answers in Trayvon Martin's death.
Trayvon Martin case, Angela Corey, and she said George Zimmerman, one, is in custody, turned himself in, and will be charged with murder in the second degree. Now, the special prosecutor did take quite a lot of time to talk about the challenges and some of the pressures of making this decision. And she said at one point, quote, "We don't prosecute by public pressure or petition." You may remember all of the protests around the country related to this case and having to do with the stand your ground law, even hoodies in some cases where people were wearing that to signify a tribute, so to speak, for Trayvon Martin. We are monitoring this and other satellite live feeds here on SNN Local News 6 to let you know what's happening in this case. Again, George Zimmerman, the neighborhood watch patrolman who says he killed Trayvon Martin, 17 years old, because of self-defense or in self-defense. He is in custody according to authorities. You heard it here live on SNN Local News 6. And now we see actually Trayvon Martin's family there in one of our satellite feeds as they listen and react here to the special prosecutor in the case of their son, Angela Corey, and word that George Zimmerman, the man who is accused of killing their son, will be charged with murder in the second degree. Let's take a look here at what they're looking at. They're monitoring also the same news that we are here for you on SNN Local News 6. As I mentioned, we're monitoring several feeds. That special prosecutor is out of Jacksonville, and the governor assigned her to the case. Let's listen back in.
We don't talk to someone represented by counsel pursuant to our rules of ethics. So I'm not going to comment on this specific law at this time. We're law enforcement. We enforce the laws of the state of Florida, and if that law becomes an affirmative defense...
A recap here now of the Special Prosecutor Angela Corey talking about the charges now filed against George Zimmerman, that neighborhood watch volunteer who is accused of killing Trayvon Martin. He says it's in self-defense, but at this point we now know he will be charged with murder in the second degree. Now, that Special Prosecutor did take great lengths to talk about just the challenges of this case, and noting that we do not prosecute by public pressure or petition. That's a quote there, regardless of all those protests around the country related to this very emotionally charged case. Now, up on your screen, you'll notice this is a statement rather, that was issued by Governor Rick Scott, who appointed the special prosecutor ahead of this press conference we just broadcast for you live. He writes, "We are fortunate in our state that most Floridians and local civic leaders are law-abiding, responsible citizens who all want justice to prevail. No matter what State Attorney Corey determines following her investigation of the Trayvon Martin tragedy, I trust in the goodness of all Florida citizens to allow our justice system to reach an appropriate conclusion in this case." That's an end quote there from Governor Rick Scott. Now, we are following this story closely. As always, you want to keep it here on SNN Local News 6 for the latest in this very emotionally charged case. We're going to have more stories now coming up.